everybody, I hope you're all doing really well today. So today I am excited to do an e.l.f. haul for you. This was a really giant haul. Everything in this video I got during the e.l.f. anniversary sale where the whole entire website was 50% off. So I think at least once or twice a year I think they do that. And then throughout the year they randomly have discounts on like certain items, 50% off or whatever, but everything that I got was 50% off, and my total I think for everything I'm going to show you in this video was under $50, like including shipping and tax and everything. So it's just an incredible amount of products for that price, and I know some of the products are duds, but when it's so cheap anyway, like it's sort of like it doesn't bother me. So what I'm going to do first is show you the items that I really like from my haul, and then I'm going to show you the items that I'm sort of like undecided on, and then I'm going to show you the items that just did not work for me. They were fails sort of for me. So the first things that I'm going to show you, actually I didn't get at the sale, but they are e.l.f., so I wanted to stick it on this video. Two of the Walmarts in my area have come out with large e.l.f. displays, so I think Walmart is starting to sell it, which I've never seen before in my area. I don't know if they've sold it in other areas or not, but two things that they had in the Walmart, so I picked these up in the Walmart, $3 a piece. They are the e.l.f. Long Lasting Lustrous Eyeshadows, and they come in this little pot, and they are a very, very unique texture. They're unlike any of the other little hybrids that have come out. They're very squishy. And so they like feel very, very soft and squishy, like you can manipulate it and then it's on your hand. But they're very lustrous. I mean, lustrous is the right word. They're not really, they're kind of shimmery, sort of like with a sparkle, but it's not actual glitter. If it is glitter, it's like very fine glitter. And I just did a tutorial, or I just filmed a tutorial using this one. It's like a really pretty golden color. And then I actually, unfortunately, these were the only two that they had at Walmart, but the names are not on them, I just realized. But this is what they look like in the container. This almost looks like a really ugly color in the container, like maybe it might be like greenish or khaki-ish or something, but it's actually really, really pretty gold, like neutral type gold. And then the other one, if I swatch it for you, is a type of sort of mauve kind of, but they've got a lot of pigmentation. They wear really well and everything, and they're just, I have been wearing them with primer, so I'm not sure without primer, but with primer they seem to wear very long wearing like it says they are. So anyway, I picked those up first, and then I got some brushes, and I have just been so impressed with e.l.f.'s face brushes, the studio line. I absolutely hate the $1 line, like none of the brushes, I'm not a big fan. But the studio line, one brush that I had not picked up that I am really, really excited about is this e.l.f. Mineral Powder brush. And so it is a fairly small, basically, blush brush. Like it's the size of a blush brush, and it's like the standard, you know, type of blush brush, and it's super, super soft. Like in a good way, not in a bad way, like too soft. I mean, it's just very nice. I think it would be really nice for working with maybe very pigmented shadows because it's so soft. It might be nice for that. And you know, this was $3 normally, so I got it for $1.50. I think that is an incredible deal. For $1.50, this is a really good deal. And then I picked up two more brushes that I've really loved, and so these were both $1.50 as well. First of all, the e.l.f. Small Stipple Brush, which I've compared to my MAC Small Stipple Brush just for $1.50. Like, this is the best little brush deal ever. You can use these for cream blushes. They work beautifully. Various items, other cream products, you can use it for cream highlighter is usually nice. And then also I picked up another Flawless Concealer brush, and this one is also great for using powder to set your under eye, using powder to set your concealer if you do that. You can use it for contouring, you can use it for contouring your nose, you can use it for adding a little bit of highlight wherever. It's just a very like multi-purpose brush. I really like it. I've seen some people that don't like it because they're thinking it should be a concealer brush, like for putting on concealer, and it's kind of large for that. But for those other uses, I use it a lot. So I've been using my other one. I wanted to pick up another one so that I don't have to wash it as often. And then I also picked up the e.l.f. concealer brush. So the other one was Flawless Concealer Brush. This is just Concealer Brush. And it looks like this. It's fairly smallish. It reminds me a little bit smaller. Oh, I'll show you my MAC 239. That's what it looks like next to the MAC 239. It's much thinner, and it's actually quite stiff. Like, it's very hard this way. So I think it's good for spreading out like thick liquid products. I think it's good for that. It's good for applying, because it's so stiff. You can pack on color, although it's probably not my favorite for that, but still you can use it for that. And it's actually so pointy on this end, you can use it to smudge things out, or even, I don't know, it's a little wide for adding on eyeliner, but you could use it to put on some eyeliner. Like if you're trying to do it messily, like smudge it out, you could use it for that. So I just think that also for $1.50 is a really useful little brush, useful little tool. And then I also got two other little brushes that are almost the same. They're called the e.l.f. Small Precision Brush and the e.l.f. Small Smudge Brush. So this is the Precision brush. It's a little bit bigger than the small smudge brush. And so these, what they're good for me, not so much for smudging, to be honest, because if I'm going to smudge, I want something a little thicker this way. This is almost like going to cut through whatever it is you're trying to smudge. It's so thin. But they are okay for applying like gel liner. I could see that you could apply them with that. They're probably not the thinnest, best for applying gel eyeliner, but they're usable for that just fine. I probably wouldn't use them for any other detail stuff just because they're so skinny this way that I don't think they're quite as useful for me. But $1.50 again, you can use it for applying gel liner just fine, I think. Good deal. And then I got this little brush, which is very cute. I thought they come in pink and they come in blue, and it's covered with like little cheesy rhinestones, but I thought it was like bright and pretty. And it's actually a very decent little crease brush. You can see it's a good size brush, not huge, and it's just very soft but also stiff enough to do good blending. So I like that a lot. And it was a little more expensive. I think it was $3 because they're normally higher. I think they're normally $5 or $6, so it was half price of that. Also, I picked up another one of the HD blushes, and this one was in the color Headliner. And so I've recently hauled another one called Superstar, and I noticed at my Walmart that these are the two that they're selling at Walmart. So Headliner and Superstar. So Superstar is like this when you blend it out. It's got a little bit of orangey, peachy tone to it. It's very, very warm, but very, very pigmented. And then the one that I picked up in this haul, Headliner, is more pink, but it's also plenty pigmented, but it's not as bright as this one. Especially when you blend it out, it's easier a little bit to blend out to almost you can blend it away to nothing if you want to. But then when they set up, they seem to set really well. Like it's set on my hand now and doesn't want to go anywhere. And then I also picked up a mineral blush. I was really curious about this because I've loved some of the Bare Minerals mineral blushes, actually. They're really decent, really nice, not really hard to use or anything like that. And so I got this one in the color Rose, and it's a good amount of product, a huge amount of product. I can't remember how much it was. I think it was normally $6 or $5, so maybe $2.50 or $3. For that price, amazing deal. Amazing. It looks right here, it's a very warm pink, totally wearable, very easy to use. With these things, all you do is you just tap some product into the lid if you wish, and then, like, for example, if I was going to use this mineral powder blush, you just twirl it, tap it off, and then just put it on, and it's just that easy. It's very simple. And so one of my favorite things in the haul was actually this e.l.f. shimmer palette. So I can't remember how much it was. It was probably normally between $3 and $6, so I probably paid somewhere between $1.50 and $3 for it. So what it is, it's got 4 shades inside, and I've got a hair on one of them. Ugh, that looks gross. Anyway, there's like a white shade, a light pinky shade right there, a golden tone shade, and a little bit darker pink shade. And they're all just super creamy, super beautiful, very easy to apply, really, really lovely cream highlights. And I will swatch a couple for you. They look almost, I don't know if they'll show up in the different colors on the camera, but you can tell subtly if you're wearing a different look. Here are all of them, and that's pretty thick. I mean, you probably blended out more than that, but they're just very, very, very pretty. And it comes with a little brush, which is actually not horrific. It looks like this. I probably wouldn't use it for the cream highlighters because I would use these not really like on my eyes but on my cheek here and you know the other places on the face, and so this is like really tiny for that. But you could use this if you're like someone who's like really cheap and you're looking for items. This looks really thin and good for applying gel eyeliner actually. So that concludes all the products that I really liked, and then there are 3 that I like pretty well. Not quite as much as those, but they're really just fine, and they are 3 single eyeshadows, and these were $1.50 on sale. So they're normally $3, but I got them for $1.50. They're very large size. I can't remember the amount, but they're very large. This one is called Sunset, and it looks like this in the container. It is like a reddish orange with sort of like an iridescent true orange in it. It's a very pretty shade. And then the next one I got is called Saddle, and it looks like this in the container. And it is just a very useful deep brown color. And the last one I got is Sand Dollar, which looks white, and it is basically just a white, I don't know, snowy type shimmer type shade, and it goes on more subtle than strong. It's very pretty as well, and I swatched those 3 for you somewhere on my hand. Here they are. So Saddle, that one was Sunset right here, and the other one is right here. The one that was Sand Dollar is up here. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. So those are actually fairly decent. They're not the best, you know, quality or anything. They're a bit powdery. Saddle was less powdery than the other 2, but once they go in, they don't like sit on top of the skin. Like they blended in just fine when I used my brush, and I used a primer, my Urban Decay primer when I swatched those. All of the items that I swatched today, I used a primer underneath them, except for the blushes that I showed you on this hand. And then the items then that I wasn't quite as impressed with were the $1 e.l.f. blush in Blushing. So this looks like this. It came with a really terrible little brush that I just threw away, and when I blended it out, it just almost blends to nothing. Doesn't have a whole lot of pigmentation, but what I don't like about it more is that it just looks kind of like it sits on the skin, like powder is sitting on your skin, and I really don't care for that at all. I seem to have really bad luck with their $1 line, or their whatever it's called, the Essentials line, I think. And then the contouring blush and bronzer, I just can't seem to like any of these. I picked up another color hoping that I would like it. This one is called Turks Kaka. Wow, yeah, I can't pronounce that. It's Turks space Caicos. Don't know how to pronounce that. So this one is basically a brownish blush and then a deeper brown bronzer. And what I don't like about them, I swatched them right here. The blush is pretty subtle, and it's not so bad. It's like a very neutral blush, but what ruined it for me is that it has glitter in it. I mean, I don't like random chunks of glitter in my blush. I just can't, yeah, I don't do that. And then down here, the bronzer is very deep, but again, it's got glitter in it. Like, I just don't like bronzer that has glitter in it. It really annoys me when it looks nice. If it didn't have that glitter in it, it would be fine, but it just doesn't do it for me. And the glitter is actually kind of fine, but it's still just, I just still don't care for it. The way that it is in the formula, I don't know what it is. You may love it. Just for me, I think some people might like this a lot, but for me, I just don't care for it. Then I picked up from the Mineral line an e.l.f. concealer in the shade Light. And so I picked this up because I'm a big fan of Bare Minerals Summer Bisque and Well Rested, and I thought, well, what that would be awesome if it was like a cheaper alternative of a very pigmented powder that I could use kind of as a concealer or over concealer for more coverage. And so this actually doesn't seem like it's bad, but it's hard for me to tell because it just went on a bit too cool tone for my skin tone. So I'm kind of on the warm side of neutral. I'm not super warm or anything, but it just went on a little bit too cool, so it doesn't match me, so I can't really use it. But you know, if it matched you, I can imagine that this would be nice. So I think it's worth trying out at least. But it just didn't work for me. And then I got the e.l.f. Baked Blush and Baked Bronzer. The blush is in Peachy Cheeky and the bronzer is in St. Lucia. And both of these I just don't care for because the blush, first of all, doesn't have a lot of pigmentation at all. Usually baked products do, but this doesn't. And when you do try to build it up, it's like a glitter type formula, and it just becomes like glitter sitting on your cheek, like too shimmery, like sitting on your cheek, and I don't like that. And then the baked bronzer, sort of the same idea. If you wanted to use it all over for just a subtle glow, then I think that would work for you. But as far as building up color, which is what I usually want from a bronzer, these shimmery shades, if you try to build up the color, it's easy to end up with like shimmer all over your face and just looking like a crazy person. So just not a big fan of that one either. Wasn't the greatest product. And then I also tried two more of the eye enhancing shadows, the palettes that are normally $6, so I paid $3. And I had one before that I was really impressed with and I really found it useful. It was, I think, the one for blue eyes, but I picked up one for hazel eyes number 2 and brown eyes. So hazel eyes number 2, not impressed with. I would just say skip it because the shadows ended up not being very pigmented at all, and I swatched them down here on my hand. That's like the pink shade, and there's a couple here that just like fade away almost, and then just, I don't know, they just weren't great at all. And this one down here, the gray, it's actually got random glitter chunks of navy blue in it, which I don't understand that at all. It doesn't go with the palette in any way, shape, or form, and they mostly fall out, so it's like okay, but I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed at all. I would just say skip that one. And then the next one though, the e.l.f. Eye Enhancing Shadow Palette in Brown Eyes 1. This one was much easier to work with. I don't feel like the shadows were quite as nice as the single eyeshadows, but I think it's totally doable if you're someone looking for cheap alternatives for things. This one's really not bad at all, and I swatched them. And by not bad at all, I mean, you know, these are not the best quality eyeshadows, but they are definitely usable. They're down here, so that's pretty much what they all look like. They're definitely usable, but I swatched on top of a primer, so I'll bet they wouldn't show up very well at all if you didn't use a good primer. And so the last products I am sort of undecided on, not because I'm on the fence, but because I haven't had a chance to use them enough, and I hope that I love them because they're actually really neat and a really cheap price. But so the e.l.f. Complete Coverage Concealer here has 4 different shades of concealer. These are pretty thick consistency, and there is a little brush that is just like the one that came with the shimmer palette that I showed you earlier, and so it's very stiff and easy to get into the concealer and then apply it to little places, so that's a pretty good brush for this concealer palette actually. And so I hope that I like that. I just haven't had a chance to use it yet very much to know whether they're good or not. It's nice to get 4 different colors of the concealer in here. Just on first like appearance, they don't seem like they're a really horrible concealer, so hopefully I'll end up liking that once I've had a chance to use it more. And then the last products are the e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer. So the first one that I tried was the brightening one and also the one in Fair. So these I'm still undecided about. The texture is very thin. The brightening concealer is very yellowish, I would say, and they do seem to conceal fairly decently. I just spread it all over right here. I don't know if you will be able to pick that up on the camera or not, but I spread it over there, and it seems fairly decent. I mean, I think I will end up liking these unless they break me out or something, but I'll let you guys know more about that in the future once I've had a chance to use them more. So anyway, that concludes this video. I know it was a lot of products, but all those things I got for under $50, so I got an amazing deal. Definitely the anniversary sale, and whenever they do their 50% off stuff is a great time to try a lot of new products because, you know, there's always going to be like some duds because it's such a cheap line, but there are some wonderful things you can find as well. So hopefully you guys got some product ideas and found this video helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below because I'd love to hear from you guys. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!